I know it's been a minute since I uploaded a TikTok, but for some reason today I just been feeling real overwhelmed, but overwhelmed in grace. And I get this feeling often, but today it just feel like it's real overwhelming and in a good way. And I'm trying not to cry now, but I came to y'all to tell y'all what I just read. And then like time I read, God told me to like, this is what you need to put for your TikTok. Or like not even to put for my TikTok, but just to tell people. And to, bring it to our remembrance and to let it be known. And not even just for y'all, but for myself, because sometimes I often get this feeling, and I know that a lot of us do. And I've been reading, I just read the last chapter of 2 Corinthians, and the verse is in chapter 13, verse 7. Now I pray to God that you can do no evil, not that we should feel approved, but you should do what is honorable, though you may seem disqualified. And I feel like a lot of times we hear and we feel the calling that God has for us, because oftentimes we're like, why am I getting this opportunity, or why is God telling me to move this way, when you yourself feel like you aren't qualified for what He is telling you to do. And we have to remember that through God, we are qualified for everything. He is our Father, and everything here is His already. And He put us here to fulfill our purpose and to do what He has set for us to do before the beginning of time. And we have to remember that even though we feel disqualified, God wouldn't be giving us that purpose that He given us if He didn't feel like we were qualified. He knows that we're going to be able to do the job that He given us, and we have to remember that we can't go by our own judgment. And a lot of times that's where we mess up at, because we want to go by what we know about ourselves, but God know way more than what we know. In that current position, we might not feel like we're qualified, but on down the road, God is preparing us for what He has told us that we have to do. And a lot of times we want to do things where we feel like people going to approve of us, or people going to, edify us, but that's not what we should be doing it for. We should be doing it just because it is honorable within Christ, and because it's what He wants us to do. And oftentimes, the things that we have to do through Christ, a lot of people aren't going to be supportive of it, and they aren't going to be, or they're not going to approve you of what you're doing. But at the same time, it's not up to us, and it's not up to man, because God has given you that journey, and He know that you're qualified for it, and He know that you can make it through. And it's just crazy, because when I read it, I automatically thought of myself, because I always feel like I can't do something when we not supposed to have the thought or can't in our mind. No way, because through Christ all things are possible, because he put us here to do these things. And we have to understand that if He put us here to do it, and we have to know that if He put us here to do it, we are already qualified. God wouldn't have given you this talent you have, or this skill you have, or this mindset you have, if He feel like you weren't going to be qualified for the job. Because God made me a very creative person. And I feel like oftentimes what I mess up is I forget, okay, you can do this, but you have to put God at the forefront. And we don't put Him at the forefront of the things we're doing, and that's when they fail. And that's what makes us oftentimes feel like I can't do this. But we have to remember to always put Him first, and not to do things just for people to edify us or approve of us, but just to do it because it is honorable to the Word of God. And just know that we can do all things through Christ that strengthens us. So, don't do things to feel approved, but just do them because they are honorable. And always remember that you are qualified.